Like the video and subscribe to our channel right now and get 1 week of amazing luck. Amazing animal nests aren't just limited to birds. Incredible nests can also be homes to bees, rodents, and sea turtles along with other creatures. Even gorillas build nests out of leaves to get a good night's rest. Each creature builds a distinctive nest according to their needs. This video of animal nests are beautiful reminders that humans aren't the only ones with a place to call home. Here are the 20 incredible animal nests that are better than your studio apartment. Number 20. Common Tailor bird. While the majority of nests are composed of twigs and dry grass, some are constructed of mud or are placed among stones, but the common Tailor bird has a genuinely distinctive nest. This tiny bird, whose name implies that it is somewhat of a tailor, inhabits the tropical environments of Asia. It creates a strong nest out of fine grass or plant fibers, spider webs, and leaves. It's a very stunning sight. A huge leaf's edges have been poked and stitched together to form a cradle, inside of which the actual grass nest is constructed. The tailor bird raises a group of young here. Usually highly colored, having upper portions that are green or gray and lower parts that are yellow, white, or gray. The tailor bird is a little bird with strong legs, a long, curved bill, and short, rounded wings. They are often found in open forest scrub and gardens, and their heads frequently have chestnut coloring. Number 19. Little Grebe. The smallest bird in Europe belongs to the Grebe family in open bodies of water. The small grebe, often called the dabchick, is frequently observed. The diminutive bird is just around 10 inches long on average, but it is a good diver and swimmer. It expertly hunts fish and aquatic invertebrate prey underwater while hiding among the foliage. It breeds in small colonies and builds its nests by the water's edge as all grebes do. The nest sits on a floating platform of vegetation concealed with additional foliage. Unfortunately, it is vulnerable to fluctuations in water levels, either flooding following heavy rain or being left stranded in drought. The little bird usually lays between 4 to 7 eggs, hiding them from predators when leaving the nest to find food. Number 18. Falcon. These birds certainly complicate the lives of predators hunting for a quick meal. Common nesting sites for the falcon include cliff edges or nests in conifer trees belonging to other birds like golden eagles and common ravens. Before choosing a good location to start reproducing, both males and females visit a number of different cliff faces and trees. Compared to other nests, theirs are extremely simple and can range from bare or debris-covered dirt to a building made of dead sticks that often have little to no lining. Although the falcon doesn't build the nest, it does contribute by creating a hollow depression in the middle of one that has already been built. Typically, these birds breed in the Arctic and alpine tundra of northern Canada and Alaska, where trees are scarce. Number 17. Sociable weaver. The social weaver uses and maintains its nests all year long, unlike practically every other bird on the planet, even its close relative the weaver. Their nests are discovered at incredible heights, and their colonies can range in size from 10 to 500. They actually resemble little haystacks attached to a tree or telephone pole from a distance. An astounding sight that must have required a lot of labor, not to mention that the friendly weaver undertakes all the work so that other birds may benefit. Yes, these are communal nests that offer a variety of birds and other wildlife refuge and shade. Number 16. Rubythroated Hummingbird. It's simple to understand why the hummingbird's nest is so lovely, because the female bird built the entire structure herself, and her taste is evident in both its design and construction. Aside from mating, the male rarely has any function. They are not involved in selecting the nesting location, collecting the building materials, or caring for the chicks once they are born. A good illustration of an absent father, the female hummingbird, on the other hand, spends up to 7 days and several hours per day gathering materials for her thoughtful nest, whereas the male hummingbird has it quite easy. She looks for moss and lichen plant fragments that have fallen from thistles, dandelions, or cattails, cotton fiber, spider silk, tiny pieces of bark or leaves, feathers, and fur. The single mother weaves the components into a dense cup that appears to be embellished. This conceals us from the outside world, and the outcome is rather amazing. She's a cunning little bird, too. Her nest is built to particularly prevent the eggs from toppling over in strong gusts, and the spider silk used to link it gives it flexibility so that it may develop as her young ones do. The female hummingbird works hard but is extremely intelligent. Number 15. Weaver bird nest. Yes, it is the male's responsibility to build this exquisite nest during mating season to entice a potential spouse, as this stunning and bright yellow bird does with his carefully constructed nest. Unusual, I admit, but the weaver bird completes the fundamental framework. The situation is really complex, much like the nest. Weaver birds begin nesting in August and stop in February, making it an extremely drawn-out process. Nest is a complex construction that begins with the bird knotting a long blade of grass. He then uses his beak and feet to weave a circular framework out of grass, leaves, twigs, and roots, creating a nest that hangs from the tree. In addition to being cunning and creative, the weaver is very quick, finishing a nest in just 2 days. His powerful conical mouth aids him in cutting the materials needed, and with the assistance of his feet, he can tie genuine knots in the nest material to make it more secure. The nest is believed to be completely waterproof and able to withstand strong storms. Number 14. Horned coot. In addition to being creative creatures, horned coots are also skilled builders who construct their nests to survive shifting environmental conditions. The South American nations of Chile, Bolivia, and Argentina are home to this endangered bird species. They can only go up to a height of 3,000 to 5,200 meters. They are monogamous, like the European bee-eater, and only stay with one mate. They occasionally breed in pairs of 80. If they breed in pairs of 80 and the males are bigger than the females with a length of 62 centimeters and a body mass of 2 kilograms, you can see why they are monogamous. Pebbles are piled high enough to create artificial islands, which are frequently seen 40 meters off the lake's beach where they build their enormous nests. One nest is over 1.5 tons heavier than the other items on its list. It renovates its home habitat before beginning the breeding season in November and lasting through January. Number 13. European bee-eater. European bee-eaters are tiny, colorful birds that dwell close to river shores, especially at the beginning of May. They dig into sandy bank size. Similar to rabbits, they dig tunnels near sandbanks and cliff edges where they lay 5 to 8 eggs. The men and females tend to the ends of the tunnels together, and it takes around 20 days to finish one. Males hunt for food while courting females, giving her the larger chunk while settling for crumbs to show their affection. Primarily consume wasps, bees, and hornets, but they remove the stinging cells before eating. The male makes sure the female is properly fed before she gives birth so she can create a healthy larva. Bee-eaters are highly migratory and reproduce in warmer areas. Number 12. Edible nest swiftlet. Given its name, you might assume that this nest is edible. This unique feature not only makes it environmentally friendly but also provides food for the birds when they become hungry. The birds responsible for building these nests are tiny, averaging around 12 centimeters in length and weighing about 18 grams. These nests are frequently discovered in the Adamant Islands in India. The actual nests are built from the bird's saliva, which hardens into a 2-egg-capable structure that is roughly 6 centimeters long and 1.5 centimeters deep. Each swiftlet pair contributes roughly 10 grams of saliva to the construction of the nest in the presence of sunshine. These birds carefully select their nesting site to protect their safety from predators, and the nest acquires a golden color. They are susceptible to a variety of larger creatures, including rats, cats, and even bats, because of their small size. Ironically, birds also have to compete with humans for their nests, which are quite expensive and coveted in China, with the price of 1 kilogram being about $4,000. Regrettably, this high demand has contributed to the near extinction of these little birds. Number 11. The bald eagle's nest. It goes without saying that the bald eagle, one of the most remarkable birds in the world, is the owner of the largest nest on the entire planet. The nest, a massive structure that is 2.9 meters wide and 6 meters deep, is situated next to St. Peter's Park in Florida. Its structure, which weighs more than 2 tons, was made possible by the combined efforts of males and females who gathered, organized, and bonded with the materials. Bald eagles don't leave their initial homes like the majority of birds do, which migrate to new nests every year. Only 1 to 2 feet of reinforced coating are added. The nest, which is essential to the breeding process, is constructed 1 to 3 months before they met. Every component of the design, such as the interlaced sticks that give the surface character and the interior constructed of grass and leaves that provide comfort for the young, all play significant roles. Number 10. Great apes. Only great apes comprising orangutans, chimpanzees, and bonobos build nests. No other primates do this. The structure is similar to what humans build. These creatures split a few branches together and connect them to imitate a canopy to make a cozy sleeping area. The apes are well versed in the woods and know which tree species are more resilient. As a result, they avoid some species and only use strong tree species. What's even more fascinating is that children learn how to build from their mothers because it's a taught behavior. These apes make every effort to get enough sleep because they feel it improves intelligence and survival skills. Number 9. Wasp. There are more than 30,000 wasp species, according to surveys, but the 3 most common are paper wasps, hornets, and yellow jackets. These organisms build nests that resemble honeycombs, which set them apart from other animal species. The queen creates the nests by pulping wood vipers with her saliva to start the nests. Additionally, worker wasps help to the building process by establishing a network of about 200 cells. The summer months are when the wasp colony is at its biggest, which facilitates the construction process. But as the weather warms, the majority of the wasps die in the winter, leaving only the queen to build a new nest. She may decide to construct a new nest there even though she never goes back to the old one. Number 8. The Hammercup Nest. The intriguing nests of the Hammercup are discovered in central Mali, where they reside. Not only are they a huge project, but both men and females build them. Similar to humans, these creatures consult one another when creating to make sure it satisfies their particular needs. The majority of time spent online by women is early in the morning. The enormous enclosed constructions, which can fit an adult human, are constructed year-round. Each pair constructs up to 5 nests annually, only using them for a short time before renovating them. The shape of the tree, the site's sustainability, and the direction of the entry all affect the nest's height. This animal is seen as a negative omen, bringing death, lightning, leprosy, and other things. Number 7. Beaver. For obvious reasons, this species is also known as an ecosystem engineer. They construct dams that act as barriers to prevent water, resulting in the creation of a tiny pond where they build their lodges. Between 30 and 50 pounds, these highways are frequently regarded as the biggest in the United States. They utilize their keen teeth to cut down trees, which they then use to block the flow of water before adding branches, dirt, and sticks to seal the hole. You now comprehend the meaning behind the term ecosystem engineers. Canada is home to the largest beaver dam in the world, which is half a mile long and can be seen from space. Number 6. Ant. Ant colonies are one of nature's most amazing engineering marvels. Each colony contains a queen, female worker ants, and male ants, and can hold thousands of ants. The main responsibility of the queen is to lay eggs, while the workers take care of duties like caring for the larvae and hunting for food. For easier reproduction, the male ants mate with the queen lucky ass. These complex underground settlements have chambers connected by a web of tunnels, and they normally take a week to build. Each chamber has a distinct function, such as a place to store food, carry out reproductive processes, and rest. In order to maintain a stable and favorable climate for the colony, ants also construct ventilation turrets to control the temperature inside the nest. Number 5. Bees. We were almost too familiar with the beehive, an enclosed design made by people for honeybees. If found in the wild, these structures are known as nests because there was no human influence. Did you know that the majority of bees' nests, roughly 70% of them, are dug into the ground and not in trees? Soil serves as the most frequent material for these nests. These nests are constructed by female workers using their mandibles to dig the ground and their abdomens as bulldozers to clear surplus soil because they may be as deep as 10 feet. Number 4. Sea turtle. Even though they spent their whole lives in the water, where they eat, swim, and do everything, sea turtles nonetheless come to the beach to deposit their eggs. This suggests that the water might not be the ideal location for their nesting. Once they locate a dry area on sandy beach, they return at night and circle it while forming the shape of a nest. The sea turtle deposits its eggs for 2 to 4 hours after building the nest, with the assistance of their flippers. It then covers the nest with its flippers to keep predators away from the eggs. Number 3. African jacana. Sometimes known as Jesus birds or lily trotters in Africa, a jacana is a long-legged aquatic bird. Blue beak and black wingtips on the chestnut underparts. You will be astounded by the beauty of nature after seeing this amazing bird. Females are larger than males and can have multiple mates. This unusual bird's nest is straightforward and composed of rafts from lily pads or other aquatic plants. At the lake's end, they are half submerged beneath a plant called shady tree. The male takes the chicks under his wings after he has finished incubating the eggs and after they have been born to keep them warm and dry. Breeding takes place as the glossy brown eggs with erratic patterns float on the water throughout sub-Saharan Africa. Number 2. Ferruginus Pygmy Owl. However, the Ferruginus Pygmy Owl is an exception to the rule since owls normally don't build conventional nests. The Ferruginus Pygmy Owl has a more unusual home than the majority of owls since it chooses to nest in cacti. Notably, the cigar cacti, which provides a habitat for these nearly extinct owl species. Most owls prefer to live in tree cavities where they feel safe during the day. It's noteworthy to note that the Ferruginus Pygmy Owl uses other birds' natural nests instead of building its own. Once it finds a suitable area, it settles down and establishes a home. The secret to why it chooses to live inside a cactus lies in its feathers, which serve as a screen against the cactus needles, minimizing any potential harm. Number 1. Termite. Termite behavior varies depending on where they live. For instance, termites in America are much different from those in Australia, Africa, and South America. African species are renowned for creating enormous mounds that can take years to develop, but American species do not build above-ground mounds. These African mounds, which may reach heights of up to 25 feet, are built from excrement, saliva, and soil. The majority of termites' subsurface activities take place where they live. The mound's deliberate porous form allows for ventilation and prevents the nest from overheating. The queen's main responsibility is to breed new termites in order to maintain the colony. Astonishingly, a queen termite may produce up to 30,000 eggs every day, demonstrating their extraordinary reproductive power. In 2018, researchers uncovered a city of termite mounds that are thought to be about 4,000 years old.